Greetings and welcome back to yet another daily run, and today we are playing as The Lost. And The Lost is one of those quintessential hard characters that came with Rebirth. Thankfully he has gotten some buffs like the Holy Mantle and the D4, which allows him to be somewhat competitive, of course, but still he's very difficult to play, especially on runs, I mean on floors or just on runs I guess as well, that require an extreme amount of dodging, because you can only get hit twice a room, and that is very difficult to pull off, especially in dailies, because you do want to catch those boss rushes and hushes. You really want to be able to kind of withstand 2 hits or more than 2 hits, and with the Lost, of course, that's impossible because he doesn't have any HP. So of course our main strategy to kind of get along with it is find some respawn items. No, there's actually a better strategy. First of all, just get a super powerful run, but of course that is up to luck and not to us. And the second thing is we need to go hard to find some respawn items, and we can get them either in deals or the item rooms, or we can try to reroll them with the D4 and hope to get them. Of course that means that we need to use our D4 a lot, or that we have to have a lot of battery charges to kind of increase our odds of finding those respawn items. And of course for that, shops are our best friends, because shops do have those items which will allow us to kind of use our active items more. Another thing that's very good on The Lost is the stopwatch. And the stopwatch is an item where you get hit and then everything in the room gets slowed down until of course you get out of the room. And it's been programmed so if your Holy Mantle gets hit, that item gets activated, which means that you kind of have a better chance of dodging enemies then, because of course everyone is slowed in the room. And it's a nice feature that I guess that it pops with the Holy Mantle, and that you don't have to take actual hard damage, because so many items are invalidated under The Lost, you know, like any item that requires you to take damage or any item that gives you HP. Getting those items as The Lost really takes the fun factor out of it, and I think that's the main reason why I don't enjoy playing The Lost, even though technically, you know, he's a challenging character. But I feel the same way about Lilith, you know, because she has a disadvantage, and she has some advantages, of course, like Lost does, but at the same time, you know, it just that a third or maybe little bit less, like a fourth of the item pool is kind of restricted, and you can't pick it up just because you're playing as a character that's supposed to be super difficult. I don't think that's very fun, but of course, you know, some people do prefer the Lost because of his extreme difficulty, and that's a whole decision I respect. But I feel that Lost runs get a bit samey, you know. You hope to get a respawn item and then or either get a super powerful run. Like on a Lost run that's weak, you're never gonna get far, right? So that's why you have to be powerful. But on runs that may be weak with other characters, you can still do a lot of things. And I think those runs are fun, where you're kind of forced out of your comfort zone, where you have to use items that you kind of are not used to. But with The Lost, of course, because so many items are invalidated, and of course so many pills and cards, and I think that design here or space is limited to something that is not for everyone, of course. Either way, we did manage to fight the boss, and of course, because our luck with The Lost is never ending, we get to fight Krampus. And Krampus is not one of those bosses you want to see early on, especially as The Lost, because we didn't take any damage ups. The only thing we do have are tears up. But thankfully, because The Lost does have the ability to shoot over walls, we are able to do some things here, because with a regular character, this room is kind of annoying to fight Krampus in, because there are those rugs that kind of prohibit you from hitting him, because of course your shots get blocked. But when you're playing as The Lost, that's not a problem. So, you know, that's one of the advantages that The Lost has early on, that he does have some defensive capabilities. The problem here is, you saw me fight Krampus, and I think if someone else was fighting this boss fight, you might see them not getting Krampus, and that entirely depends if you enter the boss room or the devil deal from the boss room, or if you enter it from the red chest in the curse room, and you end up getting different deals in the end, and just different room layouts and different items. And what I heard people saying is that they got the shovel on the 3rd floor, which I didn't, which means that they must have taken a different path, you know. So that means that they probably took the first devil deal through the chest in the curse room, and only then, you know, visited the curse room, because, you know, like I said, because we did get Krampus, because we did go through the boss room, we get an angel room here. And some people who went into the curse room first, because I didn't dare to for some reason. I think I didn't explore that part of the map when I saw the boss, and I wanted to kill the boss first. Because my logic is, whenever I'm near a boss room and I visited my item room, I feel like I should fight the boss first, because then there's my chance to get a few items that make me stronger, instead of backtracking twice or 3 times. But of course, in this case, things didn't turn out that way, because I didn't end up getting an actual devil deal, which means that my devil deal on the 3rd floor did not contain the shovel or any other good items, like for some people. And at this point I'm very disadvantaged, just in the fact, of course, that I did it in the wrong order. Of course, I didn't know that it was in the wrong order, because the right order could have been that you had to go to the boss room, and then, you know, maybe you've gotten a good item in the angel room or whatever. But those are just some things that I feel should be fixed with the generator in the game. Because another thing I heard is that a lot of people, besides the shovel, of course the shovel is great because this run only goes to Mom's Foot, it allows you to visit 3 more floors, and that's just a huge amount of points. And another thing is that I heard people getting was the Judith's Shadow item, and of course that, when you die, lets you respawn as Dark Judith, which not only means you can have health, but you also get super increased damage. And because this run is not stellar, we did get a lot of tear ups, but not a lot of damage ups. That would have really helped at this point. But that's just how the cookie crumbles, you know. I think that's an inherent problem with the randomness in Isaac, or in daily runs, I guess, because I feel like that shouldn't end up in a different permutation of devil deals you get. You know, if you enter the devil deals through the chest, that teleports you to the devil deal, or if you enter it through the boss room. I think that's just a bit unfortunate. But like I said, you know, in some cases going through the boss room is gonna be better. In some cases going through the devil chest is gonna be better, and that's just randomness of Isaac in a sense. But I'm not really sure why those two things are different, but hey, what can you do? That's how it's programmed. I did decide to stick with the Pertro rune and try to find a devil deal to reroll, and even though, like I said, we missed out on a few good ones, this sadly didn't turn out too well for us. But we did get Polyphemus, which is one of those items that I'm really happy to see. It's a very rare item, I don't see it much, but when I do, it's a very fun, and it kind of gave me hope that we would be able to do this. You can see that we're dealing actually some pretty good damage here, and of course our boss rush didn't stand too much of a chance, at least at the start, because we do have an incredibly high amount of damage and a lot of tears ups that kind of allow us to go kill enemies, especially those that have multiple parts. Because we do also have Book of Sin, there are a few plays for us to be made, like teleporting out after boss rush, so to hopefully get more points. But sadly, you know, because we are the lost, and this is a champion variant of the boss rush, which means it's a bit harder than usual. What ends up happening here is that I see the Gish jumping, and I try to run away from him, of course, and then the Fallen kind of stops dead in his tracks and just shoots his brimstone out. So that was quite unfortunate. I just feel a bit bummed out that about the fact, of course, that if I did take the curse rune first, I would have a much better run. But of course, like I said, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And sometimes we're gonna get the short end of the stick, and sometimes, you know, we're gonna find that good devil deal. Either way, guys, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.